Come on, City! Just kidding, bros. Brodies, that we finna watch this. I'm finna do my work, and you finna watch this along with me, yeah?
While Chuck is recovering from his
Ah
Call of
ah
Duty
ah
flashbang, Jimmy is out to talk to some potential clients as a result of last episode's con. But sadly for Jimmy, most of them turn out to be
Oof.
total nutjobs. The
Wait
first
a
guy is a crazy
what was
sovereign
that?
citizen cowboy dude who wants to secede his land from the United States and create his own country. The cowboy offers Jimmy $1 million to work his case, but Jimmy quickly realizes that the cowboy is using his own form of currency. So that's strike one. He gives one of the best yee-haws I've ever heard in my life though, so bonus points for him.
Yeehaw! 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 Yes, we are doing this!
The second potential client is a much more normal-seeming guy, who's asking Jimmy for his help on creating a patent for a potty-training toilet that speaks whenever your toddler takes a shit.
I finna change the level of this camera, yeah? I feel it's
Chandler's my youngest.
high.
Huh.
Give it to me, Chandler.
Nah.
Never mind, this guy's not normal. The third guy, or gal rather, uses Jimmy's services for estate planning. And by estate planning, I mean redistributing a bunch of Hummel figurines to her family. Her name is Mrs. Strauss, and she's the most sane out of the trio of potential clients. And Jimmy manages to strike up a deal with her. Jimmy talks to Kim about his day while painting her nails, and Kim suggests to him that he should start focusing on elder law, since that lady from earlier wanted to fuck him.
Aren't you a spicy one?
Well.
If I were 40 years younger, I'd have you buy me a pina colada.
But there's no time for elder fucking though, because Kim gets a call from
What?
her telling her that Chuck is in the hospital. The editing and sound design for these Chuck electricity freakouts are awesome. It really makes you feel like you're being attacked by 1,000,000 volts of electricity. Jimmy tries turning off all the lights in the room to prevent Chuck's symptoms from flaring up, and tries
I
explaining his condition to the
can't,
doctor.
brother.
However, the doctor reveals to Jimmy and Kim that Chuck's illness is all completely in his head, as she turns on the electricity on Chuck's bed without him noticing, and none of his listed symptoms begin to flare up. The doctor suggests to Jimmy that he should commit Chuck to a mental institution, but Jimmy decides to send Chuck home instead. Jimmy arrives at the house with Chuck, and notices the newspaper on the ground with Jimmy's face on the cover. He realizes that Chuck got sick because of the paper, and he once again professes to Chuck that he isn't relapsing back into his Slip and Jimmy days. He tells Chuck that he'll be focusing more on elder law for the time being, and Chuck's symptoms magically seem to decrease upon hearing this news. You're Slip and Jimmy. No, I'm not. Okay, all cured now. Jimmy begins his transition into focusing on elder law, by copying the clothing and mannerisms of famous TV lawyers, and placing ads at the bottom of Jell-O cups. Imagine eating Jell-O and being reminded that you're going to fucking die. We get this beautiful transition to the next day, and Mike has a stare down with some woman before driving back to his house, chugging down a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
He notices a shadow creep past his window, and he answers a knock at the door, who turn out to be the police.
Let's see what is the
Kind of shocked how overhated this episode is. I'm feeling a high beats here for this one. Season 1, Episode 6.
23,
5-0.
of course it is.
We're taken to a flashback of Mike moving from Philadelphia to Albuquerque, as he meets the same woman from earlier at the train station, who's revealed to be his daughter-in-law, Stacy Overtrout. As she walks away, Mike heads into a nearby restroom. Mike is on his period right now, so he takes some tampons from the ladies' room and uses them to clean himself up, along with treating a wound on his left shoulder. He breathes heavily, as if he just overcame a traumatic event. Mike leaves the station and heads over to Stacy's house, where Mike plays with his granddaughter, Kaylee. Stacy talks to Mike about Maddie, her former husband who had recently passed away, and talks about how he acted moody and unreasonable in the weeks preceding his death. She mentions a phone call that Maddie took in which he acted belligerent and irrational, and how she believes that phone call was directed to Mike. He denies having any heart-to-heart conversations around that time, and tells Stacy to accept the fact that Maddie is gone.
I know what you're doing, replaying it over and over. Thinking if I'd noticed this or changed that, maybe I could have done something. You don't think I haven't had those thoughts?
Calculate the PS
Every
of
day. You gotta quit
our
beating yourself up like this.
solution, yeah?
Mike leaves the house, and takes a taxi to the veterinarian's office to stitch up his wound. Oh, what's that?
So
You
much
thought I meant to
work
say
left to
doctor's
do.
office? Nope, you heard me right. This office belongs to Dr. Caldera, a veterinarian who has many secret ties to Albuquerque's criminal underworld. Caldera offers Mike some criminal work, but Mike turns him down as we're taken into the smooth-ass transition into the present day, where Mike is being interrogated by the police from last episode.
You really want the formal treatment?
Lawyer.
It's just a couple of questions. Ain't nothing but a thing.
Lawyer.
You're not under arrest.
Lawyer.
Okay, did anybody here say arrest? No.
Lawyer.
Cop to cop.
Lawyer.
Mike coerces a plan with Jimmy for him to, accidentally, spill some coffee on one of the detectives. Jimmy denies going through with his plan, and the detectives begin to grill Mike. The detectives state that Mike worked as a Philadelphia cop for over 30 years, alongside his son, Matt, a rookie officer. Matt answered a call along with 2 other officers, Hoffman and Fensky, and was killed during a shootout at a crack house. The case ended up going cold, and no leads could be found until 3 months ago, when Hoffman and Fensky both turned up dead. The detectives figured that the 2 got caught up in some shady business, and they asked Mike what business Hoffman and Fensky were involved in. Mike claims that he doesn't know anything about the 2, and the last time he saw them was at a bar the night they were killed. The detectives ask if Mike remembers anything from that night at the bar, but Mike still claims that he remembers nothing, and the interrogation is cut short by Mike.
Oh, hey. Oh, shit. Jeez, sorry.
I can get most. You know what? Hey, I got it. Thank you.
Jimmy ends up going along with Mike's plan, and Mike manages to snatch the notebook from the detective. Let's get an instant replay on that scene.
Jeez, sorry.
I can get most. You know what? Hey, I got it. Thank you.
Amazing. The attention to detail in the show is incredible. I love how they didn't do the cliche cut back to previous shot with alternate angles thing that they do in movies. Not only do they let the audience fill in the gaps themselves, but they also make rewatching the episode all the more interesting. Mike reads through the detective's notebook and realizes that Stacy was the one who called the cops in the first place. Mike storms over to her house, angrily asking why she called them. She explains that she found money Matt hid in a suitcase, and reported the cash to the police in an effort to catch Matt's killer. Mike asks why she didn't come to him first, to which Stacy says that she believed it would have destroyed him to think Matt was a dirty cop. Stacy believes that it doesn't matter whether or not Matt was dirty, but Mike vehemently argues back this point.
He wasn't dirty! God damn you! You get that through your head! My son wasn't dirty!
Of course.
After some intense cinematography, we're taken back to Mike's visit at the bar, where he opens up the door of a cop car with some string to steal something. He drinks heavily at the bar that night, and he looks at Hoffman and Fensky at a nearby table, suspecting that they were the ones who really killed Matt. He walks over to their table, and whispers ominously in their ears.
I know it was you.
Later that night, Mike leaves the bar, proclaiming that he'll be moving to Albuquerque. As he stumbles down the street, Hoffman and Fensky offer him a ride in their car, practically forcing him to get in. They take away his gun as they strap him in, and they ask what Mike meant when he said he knew it was them.
You killed him. You killed Maddie. And you killed him for nothing. You killed him because you were scared what you thought he might do.
The cops pull over to a nearby alley, and Mike grabs a pistol dug between the seats as they force him out of the car. They plan to murder Mike, and to frame it as a suicide.
He's drinking himself to death. We're doing him a favor.
Smart. That's what I would have done if I were you.
We're taken back to the present day, where Mike returns to Stacy's house to explain what had truly happened. Mike explains that stealing, bribery, and other forms of corruption were common back at Philadelphia's precinct, and admits that he was heavily involved. Fensky had stolen a hefty amount of cash from a drug bust, and Hoffman offered Maddie a cut of the cash. Matt, shocked by this offer, called Mike to ask him what to do, and Mike told him to accept the money, since reporting Hoffman and Fensky would have likely gotten him killed.
I told him I did it too. And that's what you heard that night. Me talking him down, him kicking and screaming until the fight went out of him. He put me up on a pedestal. And I had to show him Then I was down in the gutter with the rest of them. Broke my boy. I broke my boy.
Matt listened to Mike and took the money. However, Matt hesitated while taking the money, which convinced Hoffman and Fensky that he wasn't solid, resulting in his murder.
Hoffman and Fensky. If they killed Maddie, who killed them?
You know what happened. The question is, can you live with it?
In a show full of some of the most talented actors and inspired performances of all time, I personally think Jonathan Banks is up there in at least the top 3 just for this episode alone. The character of Mike Ehrmantraut has grown on me ever since I started rewatching this series. Despite being a stoic, grumpy old man, Jonathan Banks' performance is incredibly captivating to watch. You could put him in a metal folding chair, have him sit in front of a wall with drying paint, and film that for 2 hours, and I'd still be invested in his character. His monologue near the end is one of the few times I've ever been on the verge of tears watching a TV show or movie. There's something so heartbreaking about watching this tough, grisly retired cop from Philadelphia let his emotions overwhelm him. It's an incredibly tragic backstory, making Mike even more interesting to watch than he already is. An easy S tier, and absolutely deserving of being the first one on our list. Season 1, Episode 7, Bingo. Mike and Jimmy are confronted by the 2 detectives, who take the notebook back from Mike, and one of the detectives threatens them with jail time, believing that they purposefully spilled coffee on him to steal the notebook. Jimmy claims that they found it at the parking lot, which angers the detective, and he starts berating Mike, telling him that he hopes his somewhat illegal behavior didn't run. Rub off on the rest of his family. The detective storms out of the room, and Mike tells Jimmy to fuck off, as he starts talking to the other detective, who apologizes for Mr. Angry Man's behavior. They talk about the old precinct, and how a majority of the team believe that Hoffman and Fensky got what came to them. Jimmy asks Mike what he said to the detective, and Mike tells him to suck his dick and drives off. Jimmy goes to Chuck's house to deliver him food. Detective. Majority of the team believe that Hoffman and Fensky got what came to them. Jimmy asks Mike what he said to the detective, and Mike tells him to suck his dick and drives off. Jimmy goes to Chuck's house to deliver him food, and he discovers him standing outside, counting to 120 before rushing back into the house. Chuck is trying to train himself to build a tolerance to electricity, and Chuck claims that he's doing this because he wants to better himself and get back into work. Jimmy brings in a bunch of case files he claims are 413s.
You mean 513s?
513s from his transition into elder law. Jimmy brings Kim into his new office space, which has a ton of space in multiple rooms compared to his old office in the nail salon. Jimmy shows her the corner office, and Jimmy says it's reserved for a partner, more specifically, Kim. However, Kim tells Jimmy that she's too invested in HHM to partner with Jimmy, and that she feels as if she owes a lot of her life to HHM, since they put her through law school. Jimmy is definitely feeling really good about this statement and not at all heartbroken and disappointed. I mean, just look at him. He's so happy for Kim that his eyes are welling up. Kim breaks it to the Kettlemans that they probably aren't going to be getting a favorable verdict, but that she's worked up an arrangement with a DA to lessen Craig's sentence from 30 years to 16 months, at the cost of admitting their guilt and giving back the stolen money. Since these two are some of the smartest characters in the entire show, they make the right call and go with Kim's deal.
You're fired.
Okay. The two storm out of the office to Betsy's boyfriend's house, and Jimmy starts hosting bingo games for the elderly people he's doing work for. And we're introduced to Irene, who secures the bag with a bingo. She talks about her stupid fucking cats, and Jimmy stops his bingoing to take a call from the Kettlemans, who have asked to reuse him as their legal counsel. They tell Jimmy that they've parted ways with HHM, and Craig's attempt to get a coffee is rejected by his dominatrix wife. Jimmy brings up the "you're the type of lawyer guilty people hire" quote, but the two brush it off, saying that they realize Jimmy's passion. Jimmy tells them that he can't, since he now focuses on elder law, but they remind him about the retainer they bribed him with just a few episodes ago. Jimmy calls Kim, ranting to her about the stupid Kettlemans, and she tells him to try to convince the couple to return to HHM. Jimmy tries his best to do this, but that $30,000 retainer's looming over him like the ghost of Christmas past, and he realizes that his hands are tied. Jimmy goes to the HHM office, with Howard giving him a small amount of paperwork in the Kettleman case, and Jimmy finds out that Kim was demoted due to her losing the Kettlemans. Jimmy and Kim have a smoke together, mirroring the shot from Uno, and Jimmy apologizes for taking the Kettlemans' case. Kim talks about how guilty and stupid the Kettlemans are, and that the only current chance they have at winning their case is by using their money to make a plea deal. As Jimmy struggles with the case, he thinks about Kim's money comment and comes up with an idea. He hires Mike to run a con job on the Kettlemans. He first sprays Jimmy's leftover retainer money with fluorescent liquid, and places it on a toy truck. He eats a ton of apples as he waits for the Kettlemans to notice the money lying about, and Cuckold shows the money to Dommy Mommy Betsy, who blames the misplacement on the kids. As the family goes to sleep, Mike sneaks into the house with a blacklight, and tracks down the sprayed stash of cash with a fluorescent glow. Mike takes the money down to Jimmy's office, and Jimmy puts the rest of his retainer money along with the stolen cash.
What are you doing?
The right thing.
The next day, Jimmy heads to his retainer money along with fluorescent glow. Mike takes the money down to Jimmy's office, and Jimmy puts the rest of his retainer money along with the stolen cash.
What are you doing?
The right thing.
The next day, Jimmy heads to the Kettlemans, telling them about the deal they'll be taking.
But before we get to the nitty-gritty, I think we should chat about your deal.
We told you there will be no deal.
Might I suggest that you go check on that money you insist you didn't take? In the upstairs bathroom, under the sink?
Wait, how could you? Betsy?
No. What did you do with it?
By it, you mean...
Where is it?
Oh, you mean the money.
Jimmy tells the two that the money is headed to the DA's office, and Betsy threatens to have Jimmy arrested.
You stole from us. We will have you arrested.
I can see how upset you are, but think about what you just said. Criminals have no recourse, and you two, you're criminals, big time.
This line is a great callback to what Nacho told Jimmy back in the episode Mijo. Ironic how the guy who tried to convince Nacho not to steal from the couple ended up becoming the thief himself. Jimmy quits representing the couple on the spot, and tells the two to apologize to Kim, take her back as their lawyer, and take the deal. Betsy threatens to tell them about Jimmy's bribe, but Jimmy points out that this would implicate Betsy in the crime along with Craig. Betsy complains about their predicament, but Craig stands up to her, or rather sits down to her, and convinces her that this deal is for the best. Jimmy brings the two to HHM with Kim, and Kim silently mouths thank you to Jimmy. Jimmy slumps back into his new office, and walks into the corner office, viewing it as if it's a huge blemish in an otherwise perfect situation. His plans to work with Kim have been completely dissolved, and he kicks the door in rage before collapsing on the ground.
Law offices of James M. McGill, how may I direct your call?
This was a good episode, featuring some emotional and impactful scenes along with a pretty important character moment for Jimmy.
Oh shit, what the fuck am I watching like this?
Season 1, Episode 8. Rico. We're taken to another blueberry-colored flashback, featuring Jimmy going about his job as a mail guy at the HHM office. He goes to Kim's office, and hands her a letter, which reveals that Jimmy passed the state bar. The two celebrate, and Jimmy goes to Chuck's office to give him the good news. Chuck is shocked, since Jimmy had not told him that he was working to obtain a law degree, and Jimmy tells him that he took an online course for the University of American Samoa, another nod to Breaking Bad. While Chuck feigns excitement over this sudden development, he's secretly really not happy.
Oh, hey, I was hoping, once I get sworn in and everything, consider hiring me.
As what? Oh, a lawyer, obviously. Yeah.
It's almost like Chuck is already trying to forget the fact that his brother can now work as a lawyer. The rest of the HHM staff celebrate Jimmy's success, and Howard enters the room, kicking everybody out so he can have a talk with Jimmy. Kim shuts the door, making the conversation between Howard and Jimmy inaudible, with only the monotonous sounds of a copier that can be heard. Through the two's body language along with the movement of the camera, it's implied that Jimmy's job at HHM has been rejected by the higher-ups. Howard exits the room, and the camera zooms out, as we see Jimmy sulking in his chair, disappointed. The cinematography perfectly captures Jimmy's feelings of isolation and disappointment, giving off similar vibes to the ending of Crawl Space. Back in the present, Howard and Kim are interviewed by news anchors, sharing the news of their successful plea agreement with the DA for the Kettleman case. Jimmy watches the report unhappily before meeting with Irene, authorizing her last will and testament. Jimmy fronts her the bill, but Irene is seemingly low on cash, only being able to pay $43 of the $140. Irene says that she'll be able to pay the bill once she receives her weekly allowance, which catches Jimmy off guard as he walks out of her apartment. Irene reveals that she's given $500 a month, and that all of her money goes through Sandpiper, including her pension and Social Security. She says that Sandpiper takes out what they need before giving the money back to her. Jimmy checks with her friends to make sure that Sandpiper isn't just doing this to Irene, and sure enough, his suspicions are confirmed. For those of you who thought that segment was too complicated, Sandpiper overcharged big monies on old people not legally. Jimmy rushes to the house, and it's revealed from the previous episode that Chuck filed all of Jimmy's Sandpiper wills, and criticizes him for doing a ton of work and wanting to be a big shot. While Chuck tells Jimmy to hire a paralegal, Jimmy tells him to shut the Chuck up and check out this crazy Sandpiper shit. Chuck takes a look, and notices all of the small things that Sandpiper is overcharging the residents for, which is printed in extremely small text. Jimmy points out that this could be a huge case for him, and Chuck advises Jimmy that he should investigate for more information. Jimmy heads to Sandpiper, but is denied access by this lunch lady-looking secretary. Jimmy notices that one of the employees is shredding documents, and is blocked by the security guards while trying to walk in. Jimmy asks to use their bathroom before leaving, and uses this time to file a lawsuit on the back of a notebook and a roll of toilet paper, which is completely unrealistic. The toilet paper in every public place that I've been to are like that cheap half-ply discount toilet paper that you have to use an entire roll of to get even the least bit clean. And yet, somehow, Jimmy's pen doesn't go right through it. They gotta be using 16-ply in that bitch.
This is a demand letter informing Sandpiper Crossing of pending litigation for defrauding my clients through systematic overcharging. So call your lawyers right now. Tell them I said that. Me, James McGill, Esquire. I'm telling you guys, big mistake.
Later that night, Jimmy spies on Sandpiper and watches them secretly dump out all of the shredded documents. He gags as he searches through the garbage dump, and gets dumped with even more garbage by two other employees. As he looks around, Jimmy gets a call from Rich Schweikart, a lawyer who works for the firm representing Sandpiper, Schweikart and Coakley. Rich asks about the demand letter written on toilet paper, and Jimmy describes the fraud Sandpiper is committing, and the actions he'll take to bring the company to justice. Rich claims that Jimmy has no basis to threaten litigation, and hangs up the phone.
Sorry for interrupting your evening. Enjoy the magic flute.
Blow my magic flute.
Jimmy climbs out of the garbage and realizes that the shredded documents were placed in the recycling bin. This company may scam the elderly and put them in massive debt, but at least they recycle. Jimmy later dumps the documents on the ground, spending the rest of the night trying his best to piece them all back together. Chuck asks Jimmy what the fuck he's doing, and Jimmy tells him what happened, convincing Chuck that this was a totally legal move. Chuck gets Jimmy a cup of coffee, but Jimmy falls asleep before he can get his caffeine hit, and Chuck decides to sort the papers together on his own. Impressively, Chuck manages to put a ton of papers back together, including one that Chuck claims to be the smoking gun to Jimmy's case. Chuck also offers his help with the case, which makes Jimmy ecstatic. Rich gets sent a fax revealing the unshredded documents, and he pulls up to Chuck's to arrange a meeting. Chuck is initially nervous, since it's the first time in a while he's done any legal work, but Jimmy motivates him to march onwards. Rich claims that Sandpiper is a perfectly moral place for their customers to live in, and they claim that the overcharging was due to an accounting error. They offer to give their clients a check to cover the miscalculated expenses, as well as another $46,000 to cover legal fees. Jimmy doesn't give in, however, as he pulls out the smoking gun paper, which reveals that interstate deals were made with the company on overcharged syringes, making Sandpiper viable for a RICO case. Rich asks their price, to which Chuck responds with $20 million, since Chuck figures that Sandpiper has multiple locations that are also overcharging in multiple states, which could result in a class action lawsuit. Rich shits his pants and drives away. Mike goes to Dr. Caldera's and makes a request for work, while Jimmy brings in more clients. Jimmy forgets some papers in the car, so Chuck goes outside to retrieve them, completely forgetting the fact that he's sensitive to electricity. Jimmy rushes outside, and Chuck is reminded of his symptoms, which shocks him, figuratively and literally. For a brief moment, Chuck was able to work with Jimmy without being reminded of the stress of Jimmy's antics, to the point where he completely forgot about his supposed illness. If it wasn't clear enough already, Chuck's EMS being completely in his head has been outright confirmed. A tier. Season 1, Episode 9. Pimento. Chuck and Jimmy sit on a park bench together, taking in Chuck's newfound tolerance to the electricity around him. We get a sneak peek at Bob Odenkirk's OnlyFans, and Chuck warns Jimmy that Sandpiper is likely to file a restraining order to keep Jimmy off the property, which Jimmy later successfully manages to deny from being approved. Mike accepts his very first job offer from Dr. Caldera, and as Jimmy cheers about his minor victory over Sandpiper, he realizes that Sandpiper has resorted to dumping a metric fuck ton of documents to halt their progress. Jimmy thinks that this won't be a big deal, but Chuck says that the case is no longer a two-man job, and suggests referring the case to HHM, which pisses off Jimmy, since he feels like his one chance to regrow his bond with his brother has been eliminated once again. Chuck manages to persuade Jimmy into referring the case, and Jimmy reluctantly agrees, figuring that this case will get him a job at HHM.
I guess I'll have to get an office right next to yours. Finally out of the mailroom, huh?
Mike stands around in the parking lot next to Big Muscle Man and Trevor from GTA 5, waiting for his client to arrive. Trevor asks Mike what he's carrying, to which Mike responds that he's carrying a pimento sandwich. Trevor clarifies that he meant what weapons he's carrying, to which Mike responds that he's carrying a pimento sandwich. Mike's client, Price, pulls into the parking lot, and he turns out to be the biggest Reddit user in the entire show, competing with the likes of Gail Bedecker. Price awkwardly stumbles through his introduction, offering $500 per guy, but Trevor says he should just give him and the big guy $750 each, since Mike over here didn't pack a gun. Mike offers to take one of Trevor's guns, which pisses off Trevor, and he challenges him to take his gun off his person, to which Mike responds that he's carrying a pimento sandwich.
What the son of a...
Mike takes his pimento sandwich and heads off with Price, and Jimmy and Chuck head to HHM to refer the case, with Jimmy sneaking in Chuck's conspiracy blanket to help ease the symptoms. Jimmy realizes that his phone is dead, and HHM shuts down the power of the entire building in preparation for Chuck's arrival. Howard thanks Jimmy for bringing the case in, but rather than giving him a job at HHM, Howard offers Jimmy 20% of the overall settlement, as well as a $20,000 of counsel fee. Jimmy's like, yeah, cool, thank you, but where's my fucking job? To which Howard explicitly states that the firm is not hiring Jimmy back. Jimmy and Chuck attempt to argue back, and Jimmy threatens to keep the case for himself, but Howard makes his stance clear. Jimmy calls Howard a pig fucker, and Howard wishes him luck moving forward.
Is this a suitable indicator?
What the hell just happened?
Kim asks Howard what the hell just happened, saying that Jimmy deserves a seat at HHM for offering the case to the company, but Howard tells Kim that it's none of her concern. Kim continues to ask Howard to elaborate, saying that he's making the wrong decision, but Howard tells her that she is welcome to keep it to herself.
Because I don't care.
Something comes over Howard as Kim leaves, and he tells her to stay and close the door. Price meets with his customer, Nacho, and exchanges the pills he stole from his employer. Price notices that they're short $20.
We're short $20. That's fine.
Agreed amount or no deal.
Nacho asks if Mike is willing to blow up the deal over $20, to which Mike rhetorically asks the same to Nacho. Nacho agrees, and hands Price over the missing 20. As Price gives Mike his money, he asks him how he knew that he didn't need to bring his gun, and Mike reveals that he did a lot of digging into Nacho, learning that he's making this deal outside of his usual crew, so it was in his best interest to not fuck anything up. Mike says to do your homework if you're gonna be a criminal, but Price claims that he's not a bad guy, and Mike clarifies the difference between a criminal and a bad guy.
I've known good criminals and bad cops, bad priests, honorable thieves. You can be on one side of the law or the other. You can go home today with your money and never do this again. But you took something that wasn't yours, and you sold it for a profit. You're now a criminal. Good one, bad one, that's up to you.
Jimmy meets with Kim at the nail salon to drink his ass off and rant about Howard, but Kim advises Jimmy to take the deal, which pisses off Jimmy even more. He accuses Kim of making some sort of secret deal with Howard to be on his side, and that she threw him under the bus just so she didn't have to work in the mailroom. Kim silently tells Jimmy to take the deal one last time on the verge of tears, and leaves the salon. Jimmy slumps back into his office, and as he plugs his phone in, he realizes that someone else had to have used his phone the night before. The next morning, he goes to Chuck's place, telling him that he'll accept Howard's deal. He talks about how great it would have been if him and Chuck were able to work together on the case, and Chuck says he'll continue to badger Howard for a position for Jimmy.
Maybe I can gradually wear him down, you know, get him to come around.
Thanks. Wow, I'm so lucky to have you looking out for me.
Jimmy suggests to Chuck that he should quit HHM in order to force Howard to give Jimmy a position, due to the sheer amount of respect and power Chuck holds of the company.
You've got the nuclear option. Launch the doomsday device. Game over. If working with me is what you really want. Right, Chuck? You called him. You called Hamlin.
Jimmy confronts Chuck, telling him about the fact that he always turns his phone off before placing it outside, and about the deleted phone call that was placed at 2 in the morning 2 nights beforehand, which was made to Howard. Jimmy figures how painful it must have been for Chuck to make that phone call, and believes that the only thing that Chuck was willing to do to endure that pain was to keep Jimmy out of HHM.
It was always you, right? Right back to when I passed the bar and tried to join the firm. You didn't want me. Tell me why. Why were you working against me, Chuck?
You're not a real lawyer.
I'm what?
You're not a real lawyer. University of American Samoa, for Christ's sake? An online course? What a joke. I worked my ass off to get where I am. And you take these shortcuts and you think suddenly you're my peer? I committed my life to this.
Chuck rants about how Jimmy doesn't have the same level of respect or dedication to his job as he does. Jimmy disappointingly says that he thought Chuck was proud of him, to which Chuck says that he was more satisfied when Jimmy straightened out and got a job in the mailroom.
So that's it then, right? Keep old Jimmy down in the mailroom because he's not good enough to be a lawyer.
I know what you were, what you are. People don't change. You're Slippin' Jimmy. And Slippin' Jimmy I can handle just fine, but Slippin' Jimmy with a law degree is like a chimp with a machine gun.
Chuck continues to rant about Jimmy refusing to take his job seriously, and Jimmy decides that this is the straw that broke the camel's back in regards to taking care of Chuck.
I got you a 20-pound bag of ice and some bacon and some eggs and a couple of those steaks that you like. Enough for 3 or 4 days. After that, you're on your own. I am done.
It's easily one of the most tragic moments in the entire show. Jimmy did so much to take care of his brother while balancing out his work life, and all he ever wanted was Chuck's love and validation. But Chuck doesn't see Jimmy as a changed man. All he sees is the former law-exploiting con artist that lives in the past. All he sees is something to worry about, to the point where he can't even use the electricity that surrounds him. All he sees is Slippin' Jimmy. In the last scene of the previous episode, it's as if Chuck was able to let go of the past for a brief moment, and finally be able to work alongside his brother. But his petty instincts still lingered, to the point where he was able to risk giving up a multi-million-dollar case just so he didn't have to work with Jimmy.
Bruh.
Jimmy isn't exactly a law-abiding citizen, and he's still willing to pull a scheme every now and again. But over time, his schemes were made less for his own benefit, and more to support the I believe that Jimmy was on a path to change, all of it just to be crumbled by Chuck's malicious intentions. With that in mind, I think I have no choice but to give this one an S tier. An absolute highlight for Season 1. Season 1, Episode 10, Marco. We open up with a flashback to Cicero, with Marco tricking 2 boys out of $20. Shitty haircut Jimmy enters the bar, telling Marco that he'll be moving to Albuquerque with Chuck for a job in the HHM mailroom. Marco tries to tempt Jimmy into staying for one last blowout, but Jimmy puts his foot down and says goodbye, frustrating Marco. Back in the present, Jimmy begrudgingly hands over the Sandpiper case to HHM, and apologizes to Howard for calling him a pig fucker. Howard hands over the check for $20K, and Jimmy hands over a long list of needs for Chuck, asking Howard to take care of him for the time being. Howard is impressed by Jimmy's commitment to Chuck, and promises to take care of his needs. This information makes the previous episode all the more frustrating. Imagine denying the person who took care of your needs for a year, and brought a multi-million-dollar lawsuit to your company, a job, all because of some stupid mistakes he made 10 years ago. Chuck has got to be the pettiest man alive. It's like over the course of season 1, we're led to believe that Howard was going to be the major obstacle for Jimmy. But as it turns out, he was actually just a decent guy, forced to bend to the will of one of the most revered and powerful members of the company. I'm telling you, man, Chuck sucks. In another shot paralleling Uno, Jimmy and Kim bring up the papers to the Sandpiper case, and Jimmy apologizes to Kim for yelling at her the night before. Kim tells Jimmy that he can let out his emotions, but Jimmy decides not to, saying that there's nothing he can do about it, to which Kim compliments him on his maturity.
He's my brother. He thinks I'm a scumbag. There's nothing I can do to change that.
Wow, that's mature.
Dalai Lama's got nothing on me.
I mean, like, that's objectively true. Jimmy hosts some more bingo rounds at Sandpiper, but keeps landing on B's, as he struggles to find any other words that start with B.
Hey, it's our old friend B. B as in betrayal. Benedict Arnold betrayed the United States.
The constant string of B's begins to frustrate Jimmy, as he begins to let his anger and resentment over Chuck's betrayal fester into the bingo game.
B as in brother. Brother.
Jimmy pulls out yet another B, and with the context of Breaking Bad in mind, unintentionally slips the fact that he wants to drop dead.
B as in battleship. B as in bourbon. B as in Belize. I would love to go there, but let's face it, that's never going to happen. None of us is ever leaving this godforsaken wasteland.
The people in the nursing home give Jimmy really weird looks as he pulls out yet another B, and as he looks at the number, he rants to the elderly folks about the time he pulled a Chicago sunroof back in Cicero on a guy who slept with his ex-wife and owed him money, which is what he got arrested for in the cold open back in Nacho. What is a Chicago sunroof, you're probably asking? Well, I'll let Jimmy explain this one.
He drove up and he double parked outside of Dairy Queen and went in to get some soft serve. Now, Chet drove a white pearlescent BMW 7 Series with a white leather interior. I climbed up top and I may have defecated through the sunroof. I did not know that his children were in the back seat.
Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. The emotional turmoil eventually becomes too much for Jimmy to handle, and he storms out of the room. This scene is yet another example of the brilliant writing of this show. It perfectly manages to balance both intense emotional drama and comedy, going from, oh no, the emotional scars left by Jimmy's brother after over a year of taking care of him are starting to bleed into his personal life, to, damn, Jimmy, you shit with that ass? Jimmy takes a cab back to Cicero, and heads to the old bar where him and Marco would pull endless schemes on unsuspecting customers. He spots Marco inside, completely tapped out.
What happened to Myrna? Myrna? She's doing all right. She's my stepmom.
Tell her Slippin' Jimmy says hello.
Marco and Jimmy greet each other after 10 years of being apart, catching up with each other's lives. Marco has trouble breathing for a moment while asking Jimmy about his mom, and Jimmy reveals that his mother passed away 3 years ago. As the two drink, Jimmy notices a Ted Beneke-looking-ass customer, and pulls a scheme with Marco, making up an elaborate story about a fake JFK coin facing the west, that's supposedly rare and worth a ton of money. This piques the interest of Ted Beneke number 2, who ends up buying the coin off Jimmy, successfully pulling the con. We get this fantastic montage of Jimmy and Marco spending a ton of time together pulling cons and making money. As Jimmy recluses back more and more into his Slippin' Jimmy persona, we also get the origin to Jimmy's Kevin Costner story.
Hey, you are not Kevin Costner.
I was last night.
As the girls leave, Jimmy looks through his messages, remembering the responsibilities he left back in Albuquerque. Jimmy tells Marco that he's gotta go home, revealing that he now works as a lawyer. Before Jimmy leaves for good, Marco reveals that they have one last fake Rolex to rip somebody off with. While Jimmy is reluctant at first, Marco tells him that conning is the only thing he lives for, and begs him to do one last con for old time's sake, which Jimmy agrees to. They set up the con at the same alleyway from the 4th episode, as Marco silently hums to himself. Jimmy howls, the guy picks up the wallet, and they notice Marco passed out, all according to plan. As Jimmy pokes him with a stick, however, Marco doesn't respond, and Jimmy realizes that Marco had a heart attack.
This was the greatest week of my life.
Hey! Hey, wake up, man! Come on! Marco! Buddy!
Marco passes away, while Jimmy desperately tries to resuscitate him. Jimmy attends his funeral the next day, where he's given Marco's ring from his mother as a gift. Kim updates Jimmy, telling him that the Sandpiper case is extended to include another firm, Davis and Maine, who are offering him a job at the company. Jimmy thanks Kim for going to the effort of recommending him, but Kim reveals that a lot of the persuasion came from Howard. Back in Albuquerque, Ernesto, one of the best interns ever, delivers Chuck his supplies, and as he walks out of the house, notices Jimmy sitting nearby in his car, which Chuck notices out the window, right before Jimmy leaves for his interview with Davis in Maine. As he's about to enter through the doors, he pauses for a moment, reflecting on his life choices. At this moment, he's at a crossroads. Does he want to continue being a lawyer and prove his brother wrong? Or does he want to continue relapsing back into the schemes of his past life? He rubs Marco's ring on his finger, reminding him of his supposed glory days, and he turns around and leaves the station. He talks to Mike about their mission to take down the Kettlemans, and how they had well over $1 million sitting in front of them. He asks why they didn't just split the money 50-50, to which Mike reminds him of Jimmy's line about doing the right thing. Jimmy drives away in his car, as he starts humming a certain song to himself. It really is insane just how good Season 1 is on rewatch. When I began this tier list series, I was especially excited to rewatch Better Call Saul more than anything, since I had a very strong hunch that this show is going to be even better to watch, with the conclusion of both shows in mind. And not only was it good, it was amazing. I can't even fathom how I thought this season was only pretty good on first viewing. The setup of the story is so expertly crafted thanks to the show's god-tier writing. All of the events of the season connect with each other seamlessly, and it all feels natural thanks to the slow burn of the show. There are a lot of slow moments in some episodes that I've really started to appreciate knowing the full context of the show. They all build up to this incredible and heart-wrenching climax that, had the show not taken its time, would not have been nearly as impactful as it is. It was definitely a ballsy move on the crew's part to create a story that they knew damn well would take several seasons for viewers to appreciate, but man do they deliver. That's not even getting into the technical achievements this season accomplishes with the lighting, cinematography, sets, costume design, and I don't even need to get into the acting of the show. You already know how good everybody involved does, even with the smaller roles like Rich or Marco. I'm probably blowing my load way too early with complimenting the show this much in the first season alone, but can you blame me? As much as I love Breaking Bad, I didn't find a ton of rewatch value in it, apart from a couple episodes. But with Better Call Saul, there's all these little details and lines that you notice, along with the subtle changes in the characters' actions, making it so fun to pick apart and analyze. It's probably why the script for this video has reached the same length as my Breaking Bad Season 5 tier list, which, mind you, I still believe is one of the greatest seasons in television history. And let me tell you, we are only just getting started. I haven't even used this time to talk about the episode, so I should probably do that real quick before
Fifa.
A lot of people give this episode shit, saying that it was a bit underwhelming considering what just went down last episode. And yeah, while it isn't as good as
FIFA,
I think that this was still an all
Let's play some FIFA. Let me just open FIFA right here. This PC commanded games 14 game. Slipping Jimmy. Oui.
If you don't rematch me, I'm leaving the team. Oh, what the fuck, man? You're just...
Bruh, wait a second. We need to play the game. Okay, it's open. Can you minimize it now? Yes, now we can play it again. Of course we can play it again.
If you win, you never want to win again. And if I win, you want to get the first card.
Want to make a speech? Oh, sure.
What's happening? What?
EA.
Narrow it down, but they can't
That's
ask
it.
for
And
related questions.
let's play
Growing
the
up,
game.
what console was this guy playing on? He looks like a
Wait a
360 type of
second.
guy. PlayStation better though. He's a 2000s, early 2010s dog. So he's just like us. Firms, what is this guy's favorite color? Millie really pulled out the favorite color question. Works every time.
Oh,
Try with the
sorry,
ladies.
sorry.
He looks like a blue enjoyer. How meta is his EFC card? I've used it a couple of times, Paula. I would say it's pretty okay.
Okay, let's do the kickoff thing, yeah? Barcelona, Real Madrid. Come on. It's 8 minutes. Ooh. Shit. Alright. Decent. I've not played this game for a long time, so... it's lagging. Ooh, that was stinky. Stinky pass. Oh, that was stinky as well. Got the ball, pass the ball. Yes, yes, yes. Tiki taka, yeah? Oh shit, that was so bad. Oh, Messi, come on. What was that? Oh, I forgot to turn that on. Slipping Jimmy. Oh, that was techie, yeah? Bro, what is this defense? Ah. What are you doing? I was pulling back. Ah, nice. Yes, doing bits. Oof. Ay, ay, ay. Pass the ball. Oh shit, that was bad. Oh no, what happening? What's happening? Ooh, wow. Wee. Ah, bro, what? Isco. What a howler, bro. Shit. Oof. City. Nice interception, bro. Oh shit, I forgot about the thing right there. Guys. Visuals, audio, yeah. Commentary. I forgot about the commentary.
Accepting play. Iniesta.
Holy shit.
Jordi Alba. And now Iniesta. Break maybe from
Come on, Messi. Ooh. Wee. What was that?
I don't like to use the word panic, but I think it's appropriate here.
Ooh. Benzema done me dirty.
Here's Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, he would have come here
I'm
expecting
gonna
this time for
go off
reaction
my
today.
lines. I don't care. They're gonna fix themselves. Ooh, wee. Ah, that was shitty pass from Messi. Ramos,
Xavi Alonso.
Pedro, Xabi Alonso,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Oof.
Marcelo. Here come Real Madrid. Dangerous moment. Not to be.
Nice.
Here's the shot.
What? What?
Well, a goal for Real Madrid.
Howler.
He's disgusted with his defenders.
Howler of a performance, bro.
After the goal, we've opened the scoring here 1-0.
Ooh. Wee. Ah, that was shit.
Ease the pressure. Marcelo.
Nah.
Cristiano
He went
Ronaldo.
to sleep.
Did well, stuck out the foot, cut off the pass, and now he's looking for some support. Neymar.
Ooh, what was that? Oh, nice.
Piqué. Jordi Alba. And it's passed back again. There's some potential in this move. Neymar.
Ah, I did not mean to pass it there, bro.
Neymar, the offside player.
Yeah, whatever, bro. I'm
Kedira.
1-0 down in home.
It's Barcelona's corner now. As they
Come
have to
on,
go
we
back.
got a corner, yeah? Oh, I hit it too much.
By Pepe.
Back. Yes. Good job. It's free right there, yeah?
Xavi. He's in with a chance. He
Brother,
loves these
what was that?
situations. Mesut Ozil.
It was so clearly a goal right there.
Arbeloa.
Go on, Neymar. Come on. What is he doing? What? No.
Iniesta.
Nah, he predicted me. He read me like a
He's tried
book.
the backfield again and it's worked. It's the pace off the mark, isn't it? First couple of yards. It's so
Nah, this guy, man. This guy.
Oh! The defenders have left that to the goalkeeper. Proper thing to do.
Nah, that was a risky pass. Nah, this is not risky.
Jordi Alba. Iniesta. And in goes the cross.
But,
His nerves were jangling then, that defensive player. And that is
what was that?
simple
I was
interception.
not gonna shoot there, bro. How did he shoot? I was passing it to the other guy.
Xavi Alonso. He's cut it out well.
What? No, really?
Balance to avoid the sliding challenge.
Haha. He got finesse right there.
He's offside. Jordi Alba. Neymar.
Mm-hmm.
And now Iniesta. Xavi.
What was that?
Successfully
I
done.
break the fucking legs, bro.
Mesut Ozil.
Ah, stinky. Yeah. Cover this guy, yeah.
Sami Khedira.
Calm, innit? Fucking hell.
Mesut Ozil.
What a shit show right here.
Lionel Messi. Pedro. This looks dangerous from Messi.
Ah.
Now Mascherano. Xavi.
Oof.
Now Pepe's tackle. The official has signaled 1 extra minute.
Bro, I'm down in the first half. Nah. Nah. This is really shitty. No, I was trying to take it back. Nah, it's done. It's done now. I'm 1-0 down in the first half. No. Hey. But I've got more possession, so I don't really care. I'm a possession merchant, innit? Oh, I'm gonna attack now, yeah? I'm not gonna let him score another goal. Get fucked, bro. Ah, that was too much power right there. Nice shit. He is shitty. What you doing? What you doing, bro? No, he does not. He's not scored a single goal today, huh? Ah, fuck. You know. I think I'm the shit, bro. Ah, get fucked, bro. Nah, this was a bad passing. No. Yeah, come on, keeper. Yeah, come on. I'm getting fucked. Nah, come on, clutch. Come on, clutch it out. What? We need to go out of bounds. Nah, I'm fucked now. No one's there covering. Of course, yes. What was that pass, Brody? Yeah. Clear it, calm. Oof.
A back heel that's caught the opposition out.
Can I cover it? Calm, yeah, that was it, good. I get right there. Nah, he needs to show up now. Messi, come on. What is this? Nah. What am I doing? Under pressure. Come on, dude. What was that? Under pressure. Nah, he finessed me out there. Go. Nah. Good. Recover. Yeah. Good. Very sad. Sad day for Lionel Messi. Oof, that was a good header as well. Nah, I'm fucked. This game is done for. But I'll still try. I mean, why not? Don't slide all around all the places, bro. Cover him, yeah. Nice recovery, nice. No. Oof. Butter. Nah. This is a violation. Fucking hell. course he should have, bro. Okay. Nah, this should not happen. Yeah. Oof, 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 oof. He was making such a good run, bro. I messed it up in the end. This Benzema crashes so much all the time, bro. Nah, this is so unlike me. Like, I never let people or any team hit that much shots against me. I never do. Oh, nice. What? Nah, that's like a penalty, innit? Yeah. Okay, okay. What happened? How do I change the camera angle? Yeah. Nice shot. What? Oh, did I just miss time, man? No. And this game is done for, but I'll still play, why not?
And now Iniesta.
Bro. The next match I'm gonna turn up, alright? Nah, I'm ending this match because there's no point in playing it anymore. Let's restart it anyways. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to La Liga. Here's your commentary team, Martin Tyler and Alan Smith.
Martin Tyler here with you as usual, and delighted to have the company of Alan Smith.
Thank you, Martin. It's a pleasure to be here.
What was that? What a stinky pass.
It's a bit more than just a club match.
Well, a little bit of rivalry, you might say, and so many
I'll just press high from the beginning, I don't care. Oh no, I should not do that. What was that? No. Good, good, good. But didn't get the ball.
That's where you want to try and get control in midfield, and they've got the ball. Iniesta. Jordi Alba.
Please don't fail me now. I've got to stand my ground. And now Nah, shut up, man. Hey, you're done for. You're done for. Fuck off. What was that?
Very far to get that ball.
Oof. Such a bad control. Nah, 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 nah. It's gonna end up the same, isn't it? Nice interception, bro. What was that?
Well, Real Madrid are in a class of their own quite often, but I think they've got somebody worthy of being on the same pitch as they face today.
Real Madrid are shite.
And the attacking now coming from Barcelona. Good movement to get to it. Here is Xavi.
That was a good pass. Why didn't that guy receive it, bro? And miss. That's missing, obviously. No. No. This can't be.
In his own defensive zone.
What are you doing? That was shy. I should have passed to Messi. I thought I had that. Nah, I'm playing very bad today. I don't know why. Yeah, good, good, good. Nah, bad. What are you doing? They got the fucking ball. They got the possession.
Mesut Ozil.
Calm,
Came
calm,
in with
calm.
the challenge and the ball broke free. Jordi Alba.
I thought I had that.
Well, this attack got a bit of menace to it. That's a serious situation, and on he goes.
Hey, don't fire, don't fire, don't fire. But I'm playing very bad right now. I should have had a goal by now. Why is this? Why is this pass?
And now Iniesta.
Wee. Ah, he's at a howler. He's at a howler. That was so bad. Such a bad shot, and he was by his left as well. What's happened there, Messi? What are you doing? Messi's a stinker. Messi's had a stinker. I thought I had the ball, bro. Nah. Stinky game.
Keep the ball at the moment.
Yeah, it's calm. I got the ball away. That's enough for me, yeah. This guy's free. What are you doing? Yeah, another guy no one said. Oh, yeah, nice. Oof. You are so clear. Oh, you.
Well, this crowd making their feelings known about one of the visiting players, Jordi Alba.
What? I was trying to give a through ball to that guy.
You don't see that so often. Just glided past him effortlessly. It's looking good, this move.
Nah, they're gonna press now.
You can tell he wants to score.
Of course he does.
Tackle is strong.
What was that? At least he recovered. Bro's a failure right there. Go, Neymar, run. Nah. Why is he so back, bro? Oof. Not bad. Why is he so bad? He's way back than he's supposed to be. What was that? Stinky game. What? He's
tenure was controversial, particularly at the end, so they'll try
after those new. Oh, okay.
more importantly, a successful side on the pitch that can compete better against Barcelona.
Now, why are they talking about Jose now? Huh? Why are they pressing us so hard? Nah.
Interception. And they're very grateful, his teammates, for that particular attribute.
Calm, yeah. Very good. Now this Pepe guy, man. Benzema.
Neymar. Now Mascherano.
What was that? Get this fraud off the team, bro. Get this fraud off. I'm gonna take this fraud off the team now.
Xabi Alonso. Mesut Ozil.
Get the ball. Good.
Here's the cross. Xabi Alonso. That danger was
Good. Now we'll not let the ball go out for the whole minute and we'll not get the yellow card. That's so simple.
Ronaldo. Wants to get at him and he's got past it. Now Marcelo's cross.
Nah, such a good header. Not gonna lie, that was a good header. See, I got the fucking cards.
Well, it was just
The fraud's back again. Ooh. No. I need to score, otherwise I'm gonna get fucked the whole entire match. No. Why? Why was the pass so shitty? Give me penalty.
PK. Now Messi.
What was that? Alright, come. I think we can score here right now.
What can they do from it?
It's done. It's over.
So it's 1-0 here as the half-time whistle goes. Well, it's very close, the game. Reflected, I think, with the possession stats as well. Real Madrid leading at this point. Second half is underway here.
We should not let them score in the first something minutes of the game. Otherwise they'll keep on scoring. That's the goal. Even if I get a red card, I'm not gonna let them score. Yeah, very annoying, bro. Like, very frustrating. Yeah, get fucked, bro. Get fucked. I'm gonna throw this shit all the way to France.
Pedro. Lionel Messi.
Good pass. That turn was bad, but good pass anyways. Ooh, that guy right there. Who's that? Alonso, Xavi Alonso probably. Don't like that guy anyways. Oof. I've got to stand my ground. We cannot let them score right here. No Ronaldo's in the house.
Players limbering up for the away team. Substitution in the offing.
No, that was bad. That was bad for me. I should have passed the ball.
That's great defending there, stopping that attack. Pedro.
That was such a horrendous slip.
Now, Xavi Alonso. Karim Benzema. Here's a chance for Real Madrid. Well, that's a bad miss.
Now we can't let them
Real Madrid
have it again.
have a substitute getting ready. And it's come to Xavi. Lionel Messi. Turnover of possession here. Modric.
This guy is very good. Modric and Di Maria, they fuck me up all the time.
Daniel Alves. Lionel Messi. The ball's taken from them, they've lost it now.
What?
Well, now there's a chance to attack from the tackle. Stopping the cross, important job for the defender. Very safe goalkeeping to make the stop and keep hold of the ball.
Okay.
Modric.
Oof. This guy, man. This guy, man.
Daniel Alves making a strong challenge.
Such a sweat.
Neymar. Sergio Busquets. A good interception.
Bad pass. Not a good interception. Bad pass. I should have seen that. What was that? Why the fuck did it go ahead? Come.
Now Mascherano. It's Messi. Well, this will be the light for his team and the problem for the opposition.
I was giving the pass to Messi, man.
I reckon the assistant has got this absolutely right. How does he do that with the naked eye? We've got the replay.
I can't be arsed by this, man. What do I do? I passed this. What are you doing? I was passing this to Pedro, man. What? That was such an easy goal. No one was in the fucking back lines, man.
He's got the ball. Kedira.
Oh.
Great chance. And he shoots.
We got a sweet goal. Come on, we're back in the game, yeah?
Has done a great job here.
Of course, assist by Messi, innit?
Yeah, when they needed somebody to
Of
pop up.
course.
The man with the armband that did the business.
Of course.
Well, we're back at level pegging again.
I'm not gonna let them score. Haha. This fraud has got to go now. Lefty. Neymar right here. Come on, Sanchez, yeah. Got a sign now.
The slight tackle came in, but he's hurdled it. Here come Real Madrid.
Now I have to score right now, otherwise. Ooh. Wow. I called cap on that. Oh, that was way. Yeah, come.
Well, we're going to have a change now, and the manager trying something different in the hopes of getting his team in front.
Come on. I was trying to. I can't. What? Yeah, no bullshit defending. Look at the guy. You're trying to press that guy, huh? Fuck you, huh? What was that? What was that?
Getting into an advanced position, Cristiano Ronaldo. It's the pace off the mark, isn't it? And he goes for goal!
Oof, that was such a close call. Yeah, I get the ball away.
The throw, they've lost possession.
Yeah, very good challenge.
Sliding tackle from the defender.
I could have easily scored that, bro. What the fuck was that?
Really good defensive header. Keeps it going.
What? I was not even running, bro. I was not even running. Ah!
Now, Javi Alonso. Cristiano Ronaldo. Good forward play from them. We might look back at the end of the match at this decision, one way or another. The scores are level. Brilliant opening. Not easy to get.
Nah, you should have gone behind the defender, bro.
Right mind, and he's done that, this player. Great opportunity. Good challenge. Got there just in time. In the end, a fantastic clearance. Pepe, he really does need to ensure that this atmosphere is enough. Barcelona have given away this free kick. No wasting of time in that situation. Didn't hesitate, did he, with that challenge? Cristiano Ronaldo. Committed himself here. There wasn't much cover, but he got the ball, the defender, in the wide position.
Nah, I was trying to give it a name. Oh, that was a good.
It's Messi. Break maybe from Barcelona. That's good defending. Sergio Ramos is the man. Now Messi.
Ah, that was such a good play from us, and Messi flipped it.
Alexis Sanchez. And it goes for goal.
Ooh, such a good shot, bro.
Puffing out his cheeks there, he was worried. Sergio Ramos. Real Madrid Looking to get in front in a game that's still even. Piqué.
What?
Modric away from the sliding tackle. Jordi Alba. Referee's had a good look and decided from what he's seen from this period of play to add on 3 minutes. Angel Di Maria. It's where you want to try and get control in midfield, and they've got the ball. That's a good challenge. Iniesta. Neymar.
Ah, what was that? Also bad. Cross, man.
It's good play until they got that challenge in. Well, that's it. It's level at the end of 90 minutes.
Let's just do the classic.
We're all level after 90 minutes. On we go into extra time. And the attacking now coming from Barcelona.
What was that?
It's a return ball. Looked very good indeed, but the move has broken down. Xabi Alonso. Karim Benzema. Sanchez. Lionel Messi. Got the
Ah,
ball.
shit, that was such a free goal right there.
Xabi Alonso.
Neymar was free, bro.
The defenders come in well here. Timed his
What?
approach and got the ball. He committed himself here. There wasn't much cover, but he got the ball, the defender, in the wide position. Modric. Good judgment there to make that interception and clear the ball away. Jordi Alba. Sanchez. It's Messi. Leo Messi captivates, enchants. Wonderful, wonderful player.
No, he's not playing good today, huh? He just gave one assist. That was it. He's given it away many times. Oof. Such a bad play right there, man.
Challenged quickly by the opposition.
Look at the skill there. Well, that is the type of skill that can win football matches.
No.
Sanchez. Here come Real Madrid.
What?
Foul against Barcelona. And right away they're playing again. Safe hands from the keeper from that shot. Good movement to get to it. That's a shame because he is tired. He's getting on the ball, but it's a big effort from him. That's the way to win the ball back. So here we are getting ready for the second period of extra time.
I'm not making any substitutes, it's alright.
We now know what's left. 15 minutes of extra time.
Ah, such. Ooh, pass. Ah! Get fucked. Get fucked. I don't care. Red card, I don't care. This is a red card violation, but of course it's red card. I mean,
They do run the risk at times, Barcelona, with their tackling, and they did there.
But it's oh.
Messi takes it forward. And now Iniesta. Now he'll get it back again. Lionel Messi. Very well won tackle, well up the pitch as well. And it's come to Xavi.
What? What was that dreadful pass, bro? What?
Karim Benzema. Cristiano Ronaldo. Angel Di Maria. Close range chance. That's given away possession. Karim Benzema. Here is Xavi. He's in here. Great build-up, nearly in here. On my watch, 6 minutes to go in the second period of extra time. Cristiano Ronaldo. Defenders come in well here. Timed his approach and got the ball. Now, Xavi Alonso. And now Iniesta.
What?
Arbeloa. Here is Xavi. This looks dangerous from Messi. Well, that's a lovely piece of skill. Here's the shot. A tough piece of work for the goalkeeper from such a powerful shot. But he made sure that the net wasn't required behind him. Mascherano. Taken on the full. Good stop by the goalkeeper.
Bro.
He's held on to the ball as well. Good challenge. Trying to find Di Maria. He's got to score. That's a good challenge. Well, penalties on the agenda here.
Bro.
And that's what we need to settle this contest.
There's penalties now. Yeah, let's just go.
Lionel
Let's just
Messi
go.
to take the penalty.
Yeah, he kept his head down and he kept his head, more importantly. Good take.
What? What?
Well, the shot
Bro,
is in and the
what was
goal
that?
stands with that little stutter in the run-up, but not at the kicking of the ball, Alan.
Well, he kept his eye on the keeper, and I think the keeper was flummoxed by that stutter. Really worked well.
Very well-connected penalty.
Made up his mind and stuck to it.
Okay, we're gonna win this. We're gonna win this. We're gonna win this. Predict where he's gonna go. Yeah. Oh, so city, bro.
Put it away with great aplomb.
Yeah, and he's got power behind it as well, which makes
A
it
lot
so
of
difficult.
wow. He's gonna miss. I'm telling you, he's gonna miss.
It's Benzema.
Oh, fuck.
Right to the head of the goal. If he'd stood up, he would have saved it, but it's always easy to say. Great chance.
Oof.
He's wasted it.
Oof. Oof.
Now Luka Modric.
Oof. That was a bad shot. Am I gonna fucking?
Well, he's up to the task with his penalty. What a moment for the penalty taker. Has to score, otherwise it's curtains. Pat on the back for the penalty taker there.
Quite often a mental state, and he was confident.
It's potentially the match-winning penalty. The goal and the game is theirs. Little check in the run-up. Keeper makes the save.
Of course I do. Haha.
Iniesta take the penalty. That's a brilliant goal. Well, all the pressure is on the kick taker here. If he doesn't score, they'll lose the game.
Of course.
It's a lovely stop. You're always in a no-lose situation, really, as a keeper, but what a stop that was.
From Alan Smith and myself, Martin Tyler, all the excitement, all the fun of the fair, so to speak, when the penalty shootout's brought into play. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. We'll see you next time.
Well, what drama in the penalty shootout.
No one was there, huh? I was just rambling on and on about fucking nothing. Why you lot were just not even there. I've got to stand my ground. No one was there, huh? Was it? That was such a good play. Alright. What? I'm in the match because I thought I was sleep, right? So let's quit it and look at me now, yeah. Look at me, look it's me. Done so fucking much today, yeah. I've streamed for like 5 hours. So what's up? With the face cam. Why is it lagging so much? Is it fucked, bro? Like, nah. Oh, it was a little bit fucked out there. 25 frames dropped. Alright, it's probably because